Have you ever asked yourself if your relationship is a perfect blendship? I'm Alvin King, and this is We Speak.
Taste what the sun makes. Touch what the wind shapes. Hear the songs. Feel the beat. Breathe it all in. Splash. Dance. Branch. Leap. Open your door. It's your nature. Explore. Children's bodies and minds grow better when they connect with nature every day. For great ideas about how you can help the children in your life to get out and grow, visit Nature Explore at arborday.org.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Been doing like I taught you. Love the new tattoo, Sarah.
Dude, that's Sarah. The girl in the pink shirt. That's the girl I was telling you about.
Theater 2 on your left. Hey, Sarah. What color underwear today?
Hey, Sarah. So when are you going to post something new?
Anything you post online, anyone can see. So think before you post.
I'd like to welcome back our panelists today. Author and celebrity photographer, the ruggedly stunning Mr. James L. Hicks.
Hey, Alvin.
Nice to see you, James. Next to James is the beautiful educator and former radio executive and spokesmodel from Los Angeles, Miss Shaina Edney.
Hey, Alvin, thanks for
Shaina,
having
nice
me
to
back.
see you. Beautiful today.
Thanks.
Best known as the legendary Miss Christina Kelly, former certified public accountant, the ruggedly stunning Mr. Christopher Smith.
Thank you.
How you doing, Christopher?
Good. Stunning.
Former makeup artist and West Coast native, interior designer, well known as DC's own Beyonce, and the most beautiful woman, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
Miss Riley Knoxx. Thank you, Riley. Thanks everyone for being here today.
Anytime.
Today's topic is on relationships. And that's one of those topics that, like religion, some of you shy away from. I tend not to talk about relationships because for me, that's kind of like putting your laundry out, you know, and so I tend to shy away from it. But for this show, we're here to tell people what we think and how we feel about relationships. So I'm going to pose the question to all of you. How does relationships, if relationships, define you? And or what would you consider your ideal relationship? James?
We're talking intimate relationships or just relationships with friends or relationships in general?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We are talking about intimate relationships, those ones that, you know, that people use phrases like your nose is open. Those type of relationships that that when you think about it, when you are talking about a person, you think about them each and every day, each and every night. We're talking about those type of relationships.
Okay. I am happily in a relationship now, and it's been a long time. And I don't feel that a relationship could or should complete you. I'm certainly complete already. I think it should enhance your life. But and not take away. And I also feel that if you are in a position or in a place in your life where a relationship is beneficial, I don't think everybody has to be in a relationship. I think the best relationship you should have first is with yourself, and then it would open up to inviting someone complementary to your life.
Okay. How about you, Shaina?
Wow, that's so deep. I feel like so. Let's be in a relationship. Like those are it's music to my ears. I love to hear that. I think relationships are fun. They're exciting. They add an extra dimension to your life. Definitely, I wouldn't say enhance. I think that's a good way that you put that. It just brings more. It brings something different. And it's good. It's great. I'm in a relationship. I'm newly engaged. So I'm looking forward to see.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to see how that changes, if anything, for me in my life now.
Okay. Chris?
I think that we all look for love, and I think that, again, I've touched on this before. I think a lot of us get love and lust confused, and I think hopefully, and then as a lot of people have put it, some people come into your life for a lifetime, and some people come into your life for a season, and sometimes we get that confused. And I think that a person shouldn't complete us, as James said. I think that we should be able to stand on our own 2 feet, and the person who coming into our relationship should be able to enjoy our time, and we should be able to love each other and just enjoy life together. But we should be 2 complete people, so we won't have to draw from that other person for our completeness, or that person shouldn't have to draw from us. Our relationship should be 100% on both sides, I do believe.
Riley?
I certainly agree with what they said. I'm a hopeless romantic. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a hopeless romantic. I love love, and sometimes a little bit too much. But I definitely think that you should be 2 complete people and not complete each other. That it adds to your life, whatever that person has added to your life. I certainly believe that you should have your own life before you try to become someone else's wife. And I certainly feel like relationships, they're fantastic, but you certainly have to know who you are. And the worst thing to do in a relationship is to lose who you are and forget who you are. Because once that relationship, if it is ever over, you're still left with yourself. And if you lose who you are along the way, then it takes that much more work to try to get yourself back.
Okay. Thank you. Well, we're going to move right to the questions that we have for you today. When it comes to dating, do you think that most people would rather be with someone who they found fascinating, or with someone who makes them feel fascinating? Fascinating, yes.
I want both.
I agree.
I want both.
But if you could have both, which one would you want?
Oh, I don't want them. I want both.
But you should have both.
But you got to choose one.
But
you should have
I
both,
think in
right.
a relationship to be complete, you should have both.
Yeah.
You should look at that person in awe, and that person should look at you in awe every day that you wake up, because that's what love and romance is all about. Don't you agree?
I agree. And
We want a Jackie Collins novel, you and I.
oh, I love that, Jackie. Yeah. And that all should be with makeup, without makeup.
Exactly.
Just be in awe at any time of day,
They're
24/7.
gonna love you at your best and at your worst.
Yes.
Well, we heard Riley just consider herself a hopeless romanticist. Can everyone express what romance means to them, or being romance means to them?
I love that feeling of just being in love and being with someone and just, like they're just bouncing off of each other. It's like your best friend. I love that. But see, for me, that I kind of have a problem with that, because I am a hopeless romantic. I have an issue with where I'm in love with being in love, and I fall in love really easy with people. Even my friends, I get attached to people really easy. So that's just the way I am. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that's just the way I am.
Well, and I'm going to say that I'm like Riley in many ways, but if I look back over my life and how I've elevated in terms of how I view relationships, there were times when I can honestly say that I was addicted to parts of that relationship that helped me to grow. Viewers, I'm not going to say all the things that I was addicted to, but I would say when you talk about just the physical, just being attracted to someone who physically, forgetting how they thought, whether they had a job, or you look good today, so I'm attracted to you. And in some cases, I became involved with that person because of that. I also think back to how your environment, you as a child, how your family shaped how you view relationships. And so I also look at that as part of the growth process in being in the relationship that I'm in now. In searching for a relationship, via the internet, dating apps, or what have you, do you consider them a practical, let's say, a practical source or arena for finding a relationship?
With people being so busy nowadays, it's tough. It's really
tough. It
tough.
really is.
But I'm old-fashioned. I want to be courted. I want to be out and about somewhere, whether it's in the grocery store or the laundromat, as if I go to either. But I just want to be out and about, and I want somebody to walk up to me and court me and introduce themselves so that I can just see it in its organic, natural form. So dating websites, apps, I don't think that would work.
I think the one thing also too about being behind a computer screen, people can tell you anything. They can paint a picture that they are just, you know, everything that you ever wanted them to be, because they're on the other side of the screen. It's almost like fantasy, if you know what I mean. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to meet that person.
Right.
That person's going to fulfill that moment for you, and try to, you know, give you what you want at that moment. But, you know, most of the time people do lie. They lie about their, you know, their stats and everything like that. I mean, if you say, oh, I'm going to go meet a 6'3" blonde man, and you go and he's a midget and weighs 500 pounds, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, because some people need that fantasy in their life.
You know, I don't have a problem with meeting someone over the internet or dating apps or whatever. I wouldn't want to just date them over the computer. Like, I really need you in person.
need a bond.
And
You need a bond.
not even over the phone either. I don't
Right,
want to just talk to you on the phone like a lot, which is why long distance relationships never have worked for me. But I have no problem with the initial meeting.
So I think it's a great option. I think it's
you.
a great option because we are so busy and we're so connected. You know, I mean, at some point you do have to meet in person. You know, and I've certainly been in positions where people have not been truthful. You know, it's like, if we're going to meet each other at some point, I'm going to see what you look like. You know, so I do, but I you know, and it's kind of hit or miss. And fortunately, I had a hit. You know, and a year and a half later. Hey,
praise the Lord.
That's why
So
I was waiting to see what your
works.
answer would
Yeah,
be, because I knew that
I'm going
story.
to say congratulations to you too. So,
Thank you.
okay, okay, I'm going to say congratulations to you. So would you say that because of how half the table, well, James feels that, you know, internet dating or meeting people in that arena is a good thing. You say no.
I said, as long as people are honest with each other, I think that'll be a good common ground. I don't think anything's wrong with it by any means, but I think that we get too caught up on apps on our phone, and we get too caught up on stuff. Like she said, she likes to be courted. I think whatever happened to old-fashioned taking someone out on a date, you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, meeting people and going out instead of spending most of your time behind a computer screen.
Right. Well, would you think that social media, given that we just had that discussion, do you think that this vehicle enables people to meet the wrong people, or attract the wrong people? That this is an avenue for people who says, I always attract the wrong persons.
I do think it's an avenue for people to attract.
Do you think that this plays into that?
Yeah, I think it's because a lot of people don't have the best intentions. I mean, this world is not perfect, but a lot of people don't have the best intentions, you know, when they're behind a computer screen. And I think that, you know, that's just how, you know, that's how some people are. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you can't, no one's perfect, but however, there's so many things. The world has gotten so crazy now that you have to really, really be careful of who you give your information and give your life to. You know, give your life to, because some people fall in love over the computer. But then again, it's just a computer screen.
And you have more opportunities to be untrue.
Yeah.
Online, when people can't see you and they're not looking you eye to eye, you can create any type of a facade, any type of a person. You can create anything.
And some people are crazy. Some people are, I'm not trying to be funny and damper this, but some people are killers. Some people have the worst intentions. So you don't know what's on the other. I mean, you don't know what if me and you went out tomorrow, we wouldn't know about each other like that. However, but you know, people are crazy. I hate to say it,
you
but
can meet
people
a
are
killer in the grocery store,
Yes,
in
you
a
can.
bar.
Yes, you
You know,
Yes, you can.
I think that the internet is just another option.
I think it's
to
technology
connect
progresses.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, it's technology
And
progresses.
you certainly have to use caution wherever or however you meet people. You know.
I guess I grew up in the South, so I'm old-fashioned like that. Are you old-fashioned like that?
I am old-fashioned. But what's interesting, Alvin, I found before all of these huge dating websites started coming out, most of my homosexual friends were already dating online. They were already meeting people, and had a lot of relationships. A few of them got married to people that they met online, whereas my straight friends would never have used it as an option.
But now they are.
Not so much.
Not so much? Okay. Well, we're going to move on to our next question. If your partner wanted you to change something about yourself and put it out there that I need you to either stop smoking, or I don't like the way you wear your jeans, or I don't like the way your makeup looks, or the fact, or I don't like to hear you sing.
Well,
How
yes, I have something big to say about that. As you can say.
how quick would you be would you move on making that change for your partner, someone who you love?
Bye. Because here's the thing, I feel like if you want a girl who is just more of a naturalist, kind of like, very natural girl and doesn't wear a lot of makeup and, isn't very glamorous, all that stuff, you're dating the wrong person if you're dating me. Because I will never be that, and I'm not going to change that. So date that, find that girl, but it's certainly not going to be me. Now there's certain things like, my last boyfriend preferred me as a brunette. He just liked me better with darker hair. And so I wore my hair dark. I didn't mind that because I like myself with either.
Okay.
And the guy I'm dating now prefers me with blonde hair.
Okay.
So it's not like I changed who I was though, but it's just sort of like, okay, he prefers that. That's kind of cool. I prefer him with muscle, so keep working out, But as far as like a whole like change, it's like you want to, like I'm your project and you want to break down all what you see here, this is not going to change. I'm still going to be that.
Yeah, I personally find or actually take offense to someone who I've met, and I'm in a relationship, and a very healthy relationship right now, and I can't even. First of all, there's nothing that could be said to me that would offend me. In terms of a change. However, I do pay attention to what you are saying to me because I don't feel the need to change anything that about myself. So in terms of myself answering that question, I'm not saying it's off the table. I'm saying it's open for discussion. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but don't you think most relationships are about compromise? I think most relationships are about compromise.
They are, but there are certain things I will not compromise.
But I think that I think that if it's within reason, I don't see why you couldn't have a compromise with your husband. Like say if you smoke and your husband doesn't like you to smoke, why couldn't you maybe smoke outside or something like that? I mean, or something like that. Why couldn't it be? You have to compromise. All relationships are about compromise.
Yeah. But that's a very personal decision. I'm as a former smoker, I've been in relationships, and I'm like, these guys must have really loved me because I would never date a smoker. But if they had asked me to stop, I would not.
You wouldn't have. Wow.
I would not stop. I had to stop on my own terms when it was time for me to stop. So that type of thing I wouldn't tolerate very well. This is who I am. This is what I do. You either like it or you don't. There are other options out there. This is
like
how
other people.
Okay.
And I think if it's the essence of who I am as a person that someone wants me to change, I probably can't do that so much. But when you meet someone, you know the essence of their character. And if you don't like things about that, then you should move on. Right. But if we're talking about behaviors or habits, I'm open to some of the things. Yeah. And I think it's, like you said, it's always a good discussion. We can talk about it. If it's something that you think is going to better me, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to think about it and I'm going to see. If it's something that can help me, I'll be open to it. But if it's something that's not going to affect the outcome of my world or my life, I'm probably not going to care one way or the other.
Well, I'm going to dig a little deeper now. Okay, into this world relationship. If the person that you were dating asked you for your password to your email or your Facebook account, would you turn it over to them?
How long are we dating?
I'm going to let you
reason.
Is there a trust issue?
I'm gonna. Well, that opens up another conversation about trust in a relationship and how some people view trust. There are relationships that I know some of my friends are in, which is it's open season. You have every account, you have every password, what have you. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel this way. I'm in a relationship right now, And my husband has the password to my phone, he has the password to my email, and he has the password to my Facebook. And I'm going to tell you why, because I have nothing to hide. When I'm in a relationship, I'm in it to win it, and I'm not going to cheat on my husband. So I have no problem with you checking my Facebook or my email. That's not a problem for me, because I have nothing to hide.
Well, I think trust is earned, first
I agree.
of all. And I'm not opposed to giving up my Facebook account or ID or what have you to my partner. I just want to know, why do you want it? Mm-hmm. And if that question can't be answered truthfully and honestly, or in a way that, okay, it makes sense to me,
Right.
then the answer would be no.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, Alvin, because for me, it's not what am I hiding, it's I have friends that I have to protect as well.
Right.
So if we're in a relationship and I have emails from Riley, I don't necessarily want you invading her privacy. She may have sent me some things that are private and personal to her that it's information that only she and I are privy to. So I wouldn't want my mate looking into her business that way. So that would be my main focus. He can always ask me whatever he wants to know, and I'll be more than happy to sit down and show them anything they want to see, but to just give it up freely, I've got to protect everyone else.
That's a very good point.
And if it is about trust, that's a deeper issue than Facebook. Or,
Right?
Yeah.
That's something that needs to be addressed. It's like, again, like you said, why do you want it? Mm-hmm. If it has to do with trust, then that's a problem.
And then there are better options.
And that brings us to the end of another show, ladies and gentlemen. My thanks to our guest panel for being here today. Thank you very much for participating. This was a great show. Please feel free to join our conversation on our Facebook page at facebook.com/WeSpeak, where you can learn more about our guests, as well as offer your opinions about the things that we've talked about on the show today. I would also like to thank our ruggedly stunning studio audience for being here. That's our hashtag, ladies and gentlemen, ruggedly stunning. And to you for watching, as always. We ask that you join us again on our next episode of We Speak. Bye-bye for now.